I got to tell you, Laura O'Donnell looks good sometimes.
Sometimes.
Imagine being able to
Whatever her name
What
is.
a compliment.
text or send email.
See, whoever's doing her makeups, they got it dialed in.
And black dress is
Imagine
nice
being
on
able
her.
to text or
Slimming.
send email using only
Listen to
your
this. Listen.
Imagine being able to text or send email using only your thoughts. It's more than just wishful thinking.
So I'd be like, hey, look, hey, Lummy. I'd be like, I'm thinking, Lummy.
Yeah.
But I'm not saying this out loud.
You could send an email to him just with your thoughts.
Or like just my thoughts. I text, but like, just let me get like a little inside of his brain.
Yeah. Every time you thought about something, it texted them what you were thinking.
Oh my God.
Oh, that's horrible.
That's
Let's not
horrible.
do that.
I'll be in prison. Like listen.
I hate you. I love you. I want to bang you. I hate you. I love you. I want to bang you. I hate you.
All to the same person.
Right.
5 minutes.
Is it just me, or like, and we were just talking about the airline industry, and as you're on a plane, and I watch
Oh, yeah.
every person get on the plane.
Well, people watching is one of the best things ever, whether you're like at a park, the
Puerto
beach,
Rico or-
Right.
yeah, anywhere. It doesn't matter.
It happens to be though when you're in a plane, you're in a super controlled. They have to pass by, especially if you're
Confined
sitting
space.
up front, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what else is there to do? And so I literally size up everybody, not guys. Like, I'll see
We
guys.
still
Why
look
not?
at
I
them.
mean, I'll look at him and be like, oh, that guy looks like he's pretty tough. Or,
Yeah.
Or you
I
notice
could
someone,
take
you're like,
one.
hey, that might be a threat.
I could take
Need to
that
watch
guy.
that guy.
you're right, Blitz. Like, I'll see a guy, be like, you know what? I wonder where he's sitting.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go through some scenarios and be like, you know what? If he got up and started some crap, I'd jump in on his back and try to choke him out.
Be like, man, I hope that guy's not sitting next to me. He looks like he stinks.
Yeah. Or like if like if me and the merch crick are sitting there and there's one seat left,
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like, oh, I hope this girl picks us
Right.
because she's hot and she's skinny.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see this snowflake guy that has a man bun who's the size of Lummy.
The guy that looks
oh,
like Larry from that.
yeah,
from
Larry from Blackbird. And you're like,
With
oh God,
jowls
oh
and-
God,
He's got
please,
a big bag full of food with like cheese steak
Yeah,
sandwiches.
yeah.
He's
Like
going to eat the whole
tuna.
time.
oh God,
yeah.
please don't pick us, please don't,
Please God, please God.
And then, but every woman, not kids, but every woman, and it doesn't matter how old she is, even if she's 80,
Mm-hmm.
every woman,
I tap her.
I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Then I go through different scenarios. Like, I wonder wonder if she got laid last night. Or I wonder if her husband chokes her out. Or I wonder if she even has a husband. Oh, she's traveling with 2 kids by herself.
Mm.
Like when we were flying back from Indy last time, I saw this African-American woman, and she was probably 40, and she had 2 twin daughters that were like 19, hot.
And I bet the mom looked real young
And
too.
she looked good too, and they all had you can tell they were well kept. They had their nails done, and their teeth were perfect, and like they were well dressed, not well dressed, but casually dressed, but not
Yeah.
just.
I understand.
They weren't sloppy.
And I was like, yeah, I'd love for that to be my first African American woman. Then I was like, man, maybe I could get both of those girls too. I mean, I just get real.
Yeah.
So I hope that my thoughts people aren't able to hear what I'm thinking, because it'll be bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys do the same thing, or am I
Yeah.
just a sicko?
No, I often think about banging African American women like you and Rhett.
Mm-hmm.
Using only your thoughts. It's more than just
Oh, Lummy, can you imagine if your thoughts get analyzed? I mean, I am sad today.
Lummy's brain, doo-doo. Doo-doo.
It's what Lummy's brain
Shuts
is.
off.
I'm not familiar with
His
that.
Alexa has no idea what he's talking about.
thoughts. It's more than just wishful thinking, and it's opening doors for potentially millions of people suffering from
Yeah, and then somebody else said something on chat. I wonder what people are saying about me. Please, no, don't sit by me. Please, no. Please.
severe paralysis. CBS News Chief Medical Correspondent Dr. John LaPook
They're
has
going to chip us in the head. Like, what's going to come next? Like,
I
what's
would
the next
love
big
that.
thing?
tonight's
Well, they did this to a guy
American
with ALS.
What,
So-
chipped him in the head?
Yeah. He
innovation.
can't move his body.
At his home in Melbourne, Australia,
Is this him?
Yeah.
62-year-old Philip O'Keefe struggles to do
See, I'd blast that old granny.
the simple things many of us take for granted.
Getting dressed, washing myself, feeding myself,
ALS took away his ability to control.
Hey, Lummy, we're gonna have one of those
Wheelchairs.
wheelchairs soon.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
his hands and
Are
body.
we gonna get in trouble because we're rolling around like we're Corky?
No.
When you heard that there was a device that could use your thoughts to operate a mouse, what did you think?
I thought, this is science fiction type stuff.
But it's not the realm of science fiction anymore. In April of 2020, O'Keefe became one of the first patients to receive a Stentrode brain-computer interface implant.
That's the device that goes inside the blood vessel.
Dr. Tom Oxley is CEO of New York City-based Synchron.
We've figured out how to deliver the sensors into the brain without open brain surgery.
Inserted through the jugular vein, the device is implanted in the area of the brain that controls movement. Signals captured by a receiver in the chest are sent wirelessly to a device that decodes thoughts into commands for a digital device.
That's insane.
Wow, we're there.
Wow.
We're robots, man.
The clinical study that we're running is purely for digital device control for people whose hands no longer control digital devices.
All right, I'm cool with that.
What if you start thinking in a different language?
What do you mean?
Would it throw it off? Like, if say you go from English to Spanish, now you're thinking in Spanish.
You're like fat ass, El Gordo.
El Gordo. And then it's like,
El Gordo.
no idea.
I think if your brain can determine and can flip back, whatever your brain can do, this machine can do, because it's just following your brain. So if your brain has the ability to speak Spanish, then this thing has the ability to interpret it. I think if you know it, it knows it.
Well, I didn't
Right?
know if it was only calibrated to code for English. I'm sure it does
O'Keefe
whatever
demonstrated
language.
his computer skills by writing me this note. His thoughts focused on a mouse clicking letter by letter.
So this is going to be pretty.
Oh, so
Slow
hold on. It's basically the up, down, left, right.
I can sort my email.
Oh, so he just looks at a letter.
He's moving the mouse, is what he's doing.
Right.
Oh.
So, and then you communicate through type or text.
Yeah.
It's not
Wait.
really doing it.
Wait,
It's
what?
basically what they're doing, Anna, is they're hooking up your eyeballs to a mouse.
Well, it's not an eye thing. It's a brain thing. It's so they
They're
put
hooking
it,
up your brain to a mouse that moves a
'cause
cursor.
Remember, they said they put it into the part of your brain that controls movement.
Yeah.
So he's thinking, basically move the mouse to the left, and the mouse moves, and then click.
What if he's thinking, I want my penis to bob up and down? Pew.
So he's not thinking it was a pleasure to meet you.
No,
He's thinking
move
left,
the mouse
left.
left to click on the letter.
Oh.
He's thinking,
Oh.
I, now move over to T, space,
Mm-hmm.
W, A, S.
He's not even
Space.
thinking. I mean, don't forget. I know what you're saying, but he's not even thinking letters. He's thinking where do I move the mouse?
Right.
Else. I can surf the web.
Clinical trials are continuing, and so far, 5 people have received the implant, including
Seems pretty. You know what? It seems like texting back in the day when you had the flip phone and you had to
Yeah.
hit the A 3 times to get a C.
Yeah, so annoying.
Right?
Yeah.
one
He got pretty
in New York
proficient
City.
at it.
Yeah.
I
But
never had to
your
do that.
texting was way shorter back then.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Uh-huh.
Because you always had like a BlackBerry or something, didn't you?
Yeah.
What was you? Were you a BlackBerry guy?
Never had one.
I had a Nokia, my first one, when I was 14.
Those are the one that you flipped up. They kind of like.
No, it was like a little brick.
Little tiny phones.
Yeah.
Gave me
Yeah,
a
because
reason.
I had I had the sidekicks, and I had the trios
My first
with
phone.
keyboards.
My first
And a
phone.
razor.
My first phone was.
You probably had a bag phone.
My first phone was a bona fide install in your car phone.
Yeah.
Nice.
Only in your car. And like you could only, and the guts were in the trunk, like
Mhm.
all the guts. And it was literally like $3 a minute.
Yep.
I can remember it was in 1989 and I got it installed in I had an 88 Dodge Conquest, which they were kind of cool cars.
Yeah.
And all black. And I was driving home from the phone place that put it in, and I called Janie Cakes in Warsaw, Indiana. I go, Mom, guess where I am right now? She's like, where? Wait. I go, in my car. She's like, well, how you calling me? I'm like, they got car phones now. And I'd go to Warsaw, and I'd be the only guy that had a car phone because I was the man.
And those the car phones back then were basically a two-way radio with a handset.
Really?
Yeah. They just used regular like radio waves, analog.
So then, Blitz, I graduated into that real
The brick.
the brick phone.
Yeah.
that had like an antenna about that black. That one. That was my next phone.
Was that the Nokia? Oh no, the Nokias were small.
It's Motorola probably.
Motorola. And those were badass. You'd be carrying that like you were something.
Yeah.
And then I think after that, it ended up. Then they tried to make it phones as small as they could. Remember?
Right. StarTAC and
Yeah,
things like that.
I had a StarTAC.
Mercedes.
Then I had a Nextel because I was sponsored by Nextel. Remember, you're like, beep.
Yeah.
If people were on your network, you could talk.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody liked that. And then I don't know what the hell. Then I went to a flip. I think
You got a couple 710s.
What are those?
Just the smaller flip phone deal.
Yeah.
This is the one that the Nokia 5110.
I wonder when my first iPhone was.
I think you were
recent.
You were like not late in the game, but you weren't early in on them.
I wasn't.
I don't think so.
If you scroll down a little bit, the Nokia 5110. I think that's the one that me and right there. That's the one that me and all my friends had.
Yeah, those are pretty common. Ones are just like that.
Yeah.
Or those the free ones usually got. The
I
phone
don't
plan.
know. I got mine in like 2005.
And did you think you're hot shiz too? Because you had your own little deal and everything.
Honestly, not really. I would just use. I didn't know because it was still kind of rudimentary. So I would always call my friends on the landline. That was just to call my mom after track to pick me up.
Mm-hmm.
These were real popular too.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Every white trash had this.
That's the free
like
one.
every bitch you saw at Mako's.
Yeah.
That were smoking Marlboro Lights outside. Well, hell, you could smoke inside back then. I never saw these. Were these any?
Is that a razor?
Yeah.
I had a razor
or something like it.
Did any of us have Blackberries?
No.
No, I was never a BlackBerry fan.
I was never a Blackberry guy either. But boy, people that had them, man, they would just be going crazy on that little dial, that little.
I had Palm Trios and the Windows phones back in the day, and the Sidekicks.
Here's this guy.
And it's just been the most exciting.
All right, so here's the deal. They can hook up a cursor to your brain, and you can move the cursor to do a speak and spell.
That's still more independence than he had before.
It's a cool start, but it's not. He's not. It's not thinking
stuff.
what he's. Typing what he's thinking.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here. It's not the Jetson stuff.
No.
The Bubba Radio Network will return after this.